Can Chihuahuas live for 30 years? This is one of the most frequently asked questions on Google, and for a good reason. They may be tiny, but their personalities are larger than life. While we can't say for certain that they can live that long, though some individuals have, one thing is undeniable. Chihuahuas are one of the most popular toy breeds in the world, known for their fierce loyalty and adorable size. But the real question is, are they the right dog for you? In this video, we're breaking down everything you need to know about Chihuahuas, from their history and personality to essential care tips and debunking common myths. As tiny, furry dictators, these dogs have a longer history than most breeds today. Yes, before they became fashionable accessories, Chihuahuas were spiritual guides and warriors. Well, in their own tiny way. Long before they became the beloved lapdogs we know today, Chihuahuas held an important place in ancient cultures. Their ancestors, the Techichi, were small companion dogs kept by the Toltecs in what is now, guess what country? Sí, señorita Mexico. In the early 16th century, when the Spanish conquistadors arrived in Mexico, they encountered these small dogs and were fascinated by their unique appearance and role in Aztec society. However, colonization led to the decline of many indigenous dog breeds, and for a time, the Techichi seemed to disappear, probably mixed with small European toy breeds, which may explain the Chihuahua's huge personality in such a tiny package. Fast forward to the 1800s, when Americans visiting Mexico started noticing small, fox-like dogs in the state of Chihuahua. These little survivors had adapted to life in the desert, proving that even then, Chihuahuas refused to be ignored. Traders began bringing them back to the US, and that's when the Chihuahua's rise to stardom really began. And then, the from hidden gem to global star era begins. Chihuahuas quickly became a fashionable breed in the 20th century, thanks in part to their compact size, lively personality, and unique charm. They became popular among celebrities, especially in Hollywood, where they were often seen as luxury lapdogs. Xavier Cugat, a famous musician in the 1940s, helped make Chihuahuas trendy by carrying one everywhere he went. Basically, he was the original celebrity with a dog in a purse. Then, they started dominating pop culture, from Legally Blonde's Bruiser Woods to the iconic Yo Quiero Taco Bell dog. So, in terms of career upgrades, they went from ancient spiritual guides to demanding belly rubs on the red carpet. Enough with the boring history. Let's quickly understand what types of Chihuahuas exist. Many people think all Chihuahuas look alike, but they actually come in different types. They come in 8 variations, but only 2 are officially recognized. They come in 2 official types with 3 variations and 2 exotic upgrades. The 2 official types are the long-haired Chihuahua, like this girl here, and the short-haired Chihuahua, like this guy here. Short-haired Chihuahua, or smooth-coated, is recognized by the American Kennel Club, this is why they are official, with a sleek, short coat that requires minimal grooming. They are susceptible to cold weather and may need extra warmth. Long-haired Chihuahua is also recognized by the AKC, with soft, longer hair and a downy undercoat. It takes up to 24 months to develop fully, but requires moderate grooming. Now, these are the variations. All of these variations are not recognized by the AKC as a separate type. Instead, it serves as a guideline. It's like you are choosing between the iPhone Pro and Pro Max model. Apple-head Chihuahua is the most recognizable type, characterized by a rounded, apple-shaped head and large protruding eyes. They are prone to eye, sinus, and dental issues. This type serves as a standard guideline that defines the characteristics Chihuahuas should have. Deerhead Chihuahua features a longer nose, larger eyes, and a resemblance to a young deer. They are not eligible for dog shows, but are generally healthier than applehead Chihuahuas. Pearhead Chihuahua is a mix of applehead and deerhead Chihuahuas, with a flatter skull and a larger snout. It is the least common and generally considered undesirable. Now come these more exotic types, but first, you should know that these are like you are choosing an iPhone Red series and not getting anything else, just a specific characteristic that they can have. Teacup Chihuahua is a selectively bred smaller version weighing around 2.5 pounds. It's prone to severe health issues, and as the name suggests, it can be put in your hand without any problems. Fawn Chihuahua is identified by its fawn-colored coat, one of the most beautiful Chihuahua coat colors. Any Chihuahua with this color can be classified under this type. So when we talk about Chiz, we can't ignore their unique personality and temperament. Chihuahuas may be tiny, but they pack a personality larger than life. They are lively, alert, and highly intelligent, often forming deep emotional bonds with their owners. Despite their small stature, they have a big dog mentality, confident, fearless, and sometimes a little stubborn. Think of them as a Great Dane or Pit Bull locked inside a Chihuahua's body. One of the most distinctive traits of Chihuahuas is their deep devotion to their favorite human. If you've ever dreamed of having a shadow that follows you everywhere, even to the bathroom, congratulations, you've found your perfect match. These dogs are fiercely loyal. They'll follow you from room to room, insist on sitting in your lap, and give you the death stare if you even think about petting another dog. Don't believe us? Just Google what other people say about Chihuahua jealousy. And now comes bravery. Yes, the Napoleon Complex is real. Chihuahuas have absolutely no idea how small they are. They strut around like they're 6 feet tall and will bark at anything that moves, including dogs 10 times their size. This is what we call the Napoleon Complex in action. For example, big dog walks by, Chihuahua stares intensely. Big dog ignores Chihuahua, Chihuahua starts barking. Big dog turns to look, Chihuahuas instantly hide behind their owner's legs. Okay, maybe this one isn't exactly Napoleon-like, but you get the point. Bravery is great and all, but someone forgot to tell Chihuahuas that they're literally snack-sized to larger dogs. If your Chihuahua tries to pick a fight with a Great Dane, it's your job to be the responsible one and remove them from the situation before they become a tiny chew toy. One crucial thing for future Chihuahua owners to know is that these dogs are highly intelligent. They quickly pick up on routines, recognize patterns, and can learn commands fast when they want to. Yes, their intelligence is often paired with a streak of stubbornness. If they don't feel like obeying, they may try to outsmart you or simply ignore the command altogether. This independent nature can make training a challenge, but with positive reinforcement, patience, and consistency, they can become well-mannered companions. Like many small breeds, Chihuahuas are full of energy. They love playtime, whether it's chasing a toy, zooming around the house, or engaging in a game of tug-of-war. They are incredibly agile and can even be trained for dog sports like agility or obedience competitions. One minute, they're curled up in a cozy blanket. The next, they're running around the house at warp speed for no apparent reason. Why are you sprinting in circles at midnight, tiny creature? That said, energy levels can vary. Some Chihuahuas are hyperactive and love to play all day, while others are more relaxed and prefer lounging in their owner's lap. Now we arrive at the topic, the love-hate relationship between Chihuahuas and other dogs. If a Chihuahua grows up with another dog, they may be best buddies or mortal enemies. There's no in between. Cats? Possible, but prepare for dramatic standoffs and a lot of side-eyeing. So can Chihuahuas live with other pets? Yes, only if they approve of them. Oh, you brought another pet into the house? Guess what? I'll be barking at them forever. Socialization is crucial. Many people assume that Chihuahuas are naturally aggressive, but in reality, their wariness of strangers comes from a strong protective instinct and a lack of proper socialization. To avoid raising another Napoleon, early exposure to different environments, sounds, and experiences is key. This helps them become more well-adjusted and less reactive in unfamiliar situations. Now we can discuss common Chihuahua myths, which are strongly related to this topic, but we'll save that for the end. All right, let's dive into one of the most important aspects of raising a happy and healthy Chihuahua: food. Let's be honest, if Chihuahuas were in charge of their own diet, they'd survive on bacon bits and stolen pizza crusts. But since we love them and don't want them turning into tiny round potatoes, we need to be smart about their diet. Their nutrition can sometimes be a bit complicated, but here are some important facts you should know. High quality protein, because even a 5-pound Chihuahua secretly thinks they're a wolf. Lean meats like chicken, turkey, beef, and fish keep them strong. Healthy fats. Omega-3s keep their coats shiny and their Instagram photos flawless. Carbs and fiber. Sweet potatoes, brown rice, and some veggies help with digestion and maintain energy levels. Vitamins and minerals help prevent bone issues, though not necessarily for younger dogs. While we're not focusing on water, it's important to note that dehydration can occur quickly in small dogs. Always ensure they have access to fresh water. But beware, there is a dark side to feeding a Chihuahua. Look, we get it. Your Chihuahua is a master manipulator with those big, round, I'm starving eyes. But just because they want your nachos doesn't mean they should have them. Some foods are downright dangerous. Chocolate, grapes, onions, and artificial sweeteners are found in candies, some peanut butters, and similar products are all dangerous for dogs. One particularly toxic sweetener is xylitol, which can cause a rapid drop in blood sugar, hypoglycemia, and potentially fatal liver damage, even in small amounts. It is good to know that these tiny creatures have big appetites, but portion control is a must. Overfeeding leads to Chihuahua syndrome, and trust me, that's a real thing. General feeding guidelines suggest around 40 to 50 calories per pound of body weight. Puppies under 6 months need 3 to 4 small meals per day since they burn energy like a toddler on a sugar rush. Adults, 6 months to 8 years, do well with 2 to 3 meals per day, enough to keep them sassy but not chunky. It is important to adjust portions based on activity level. If your Chihuahua starts resembling a tiny sausage on legs, it's time to scale back. We're not diving into the dry food versus wet food versus homemade meals debate. We're not getting paid for that. The best approach is to consult with the kennel where you get your Chihuahua or speak with shelter employees, and honestly, we think adopting is the better option. And finally, the most important part, treats and snacks, aka Chihuahua bribery. Treats are essential for training, bonding, and getting them to forgive you for trimming their nails, but moderation is key. Best treats for Chihuahuas: small, soft training treats, freeze-dried meats, chicken, beef, liver, carrot sticks or apple slices, no seeds, dental chews to prevent tiny teeth disasters. Avoid sugary treats, rawhide, choking hazard, and anything labeled mystery meat. We guess you get it that these little dogs are intelligent, energetic, and full of confidence. This can make training both rewarding and challenging. Without proper training and socialization, Chihuahuas can develop stubbornness, excessive barking, and even aggression, especially towards strangers or other animals. This topic deserves an entire video on its own, but here are the 4 most important things, according to us. 1. Socialization. Teaching your Chihuahua they're not a lion. As discussed before, they have a tiny dog complex. Early exposure to different people, sounds, and environments is crucial. Puppy play dates, visits to pet-friendly stores, and short outings will help build confidence, but without the constant need to challenge every German Shepherd they meet. 2. The ultimate patience test and potty training. Consistency is key here. Crate training can help establish a routine and prevent accidents. Take them out frequently, reward them immediately when they go to the correct spot. Consider puppy pads or indoor potty areas if you live in an apartment or have harsh weather conditions. 3. Curbing excessive barking. Chihuahuas are naturally alert and vocal, but this can sometimes lead to non-stop barking. Teach the quiet command by rewarding them when they stop barking on cue. Avoid reinforcing the behavior by not picking them up or giving attention when they bark excessively. Identify triggers like doorbells or strangers and gradually desensitize them through controlled exposure. 4. Outdoor behavior. Due to their small size, many Chihuahua owners carry them instead of letting them walk, which can lead to leash anxiety and poor outdoor behavior. To prevent this, use a harness instead of a collar to avoid choking, and start leash training indoors before transitioning to outdoor walks. If they're hesitant, use treats and positive reinforcement to create a good association with walking. Teach them to walk calmly, without lunging at other dogs or barking excessively. Now, when it comes to health and common issues, Chihuahuas are generally a healthy breed with a long lifespan of 12 to 20 years. But like all dogs, they are prone to certain health problems. Chihuahuas have more teeth than they know what to do with, and because their mouths are so small, things get crowded fast. Plaque builds up, causing bad breath, gum disease, and eventually a dog that could double as a pirate with missing teeth. Scientists have found a lot of proof that small dogs get more gum disease than big dogs. In one study, they looked at over 3 million dog health records and discovered that tiny dogs weighing less than 15 pounds were up to 5 times more likely to have gum problems than really big dogs weighing over 55 pounds. So it would be a good idea to brush their teeth regularly and provide dental chews, which are proven to reduce plaque buildup. The next issue is hypoglycemia, sudden energy crashes. According to Wikipedia, toy breed puppies are at increased risk of hypoglycemia due to their high energy expenditure and limited glucose reserves. Ensure they don't overexert themselves, especially on an empty stomach. If symptoms appear, offer a small amount of honey or syrup and consult a vet promptly. Now comes the worst one. The #1 cause of death in small breeds, heart disease. Why it happens. Chihuahuas are prone to mitral valve disease, MVD, a condition where the heart's valves deteriorate over time, leading to heart failure if untreated. We've come across information, not yet confirmed, suggesting that mitral valve disease accounts for over 70% of heart-related deaths in toy breeds. Early detection and management can significantly extend their lifespan. Routine vet checkups to monitor heart health and feeding heart-healthy foods with omega-3s found in fish oils are a must. Oh no, now we need to talk about grooming and care. You'd think a dog that fits in your purse wouldn't require much upkeep. Wrong! These little divas sometimes demand a full-on spa day routine to stay fresh and fabulous. If you have a short-haired Chihuahua, you're the lucky one. Brushing once a week, easy breezy. Trimming, no trimming needed. Mess factor, less likely to pick up dirt. Long-haired Chihuahuas are a bit harder to maintain. Brushing 2 to 3 times a week. Feathered areas around the ears, paws, and tail need occasional trims. Hair attracts dirt, leaves, and whatever they roll in. For both coat types, you'll need to bathe them every 3 to 4 weeks with a gentle, dog-friendly shampoo. If your Chihuahua tip-taps across the floor like they're wearing tap shoes, it means their nails are too long. Trim them every 2 to 3 weeks to prevent discomfort and avoid your dog looking like they're moonwalking everywhere. If you're too nervous, a groomer can do it. No judgment. Okay, the next 3 things we're going to cover are Chihuahua myths, life with Chihuahuas. How to choose a Chihuahua. So, what are the most common myths about these peanuts? Are Chihuahuas aggressive? Some people think Chihuahuas are aggressive, but they usually act this way because they weren't trained well or didn't meet enough people and dogs when they were young. Since they're tiny, they can feel scared and try to protect themselves, but with good training, they can be friendly and nice. Do Chihuahuas shake all the time? Chihuahuas do shake a lot, but it's usually because they're excited, cold, or nervous, not because they're sick. So the answer is no, they don't shake all the time for no reason. Do Chihuahuas think they're big? Yes! Even though they're tiny, they often act like they're much bigger and will try to stand up to big dogs like they're the same size. Do Chihuahuas hate everyone and other dogs? Not always. Some Chihuahuas might be unfriendly, but if they were around lots of people and dogs when they were puppies, they usually get along just fine. When it comes to temperament, what does life with a Chihuahua really look like? They thrive in small spaces, making them ideal for apartments and urban living. However, their small size doesn't mean they don't need attention. Chihuahuas crave human companionship and can develop separation anxiety if left alone for long periods. When it comes to family dynamics, Chihuahuas can be affectionate and loving, but they tend to form a strong bond with one person. While they can get along with children, they are fragile and may not tolerate rough play. So they are better suited for households with older kids who understand how to handle small dogs. Future owners should also avoid over-pampering them. Treating them like a baby can encourage bad habits like excessive barking or demanding behavior. Instead, setting firm but gentle boundaries ensures a well-behaved and happy Chihuahua. Ugh, this is turning into a really long video, right? But we finally made it to the end. If you've watched this video to the end, we assume you're very interested in getting your own Chihuahua. Congrats! But before you rush out and let one of these pint-sized divas take over your heart and probably your couch, let's talk about how to pick the right one for you. Puppy versus rescue. Do you want chaos or a preloaded personality? If you're leaning toward a puppy, prepare for a wild ride. Chihuahuas are basically toddlers with fur, tiny, energetic, and completely convinced that they run the show. Spoiler, they do. They require training, socialization, and about 500% more patience than you think you have. On the other hand, adopting an adult Chihuahua from a rescue is a very humane act. You will simply make someone's life better. It's like downloading a pet with pre-installed software. They might already be potty trained, understand basic commands, and possibly come with a long list of personal grudges against things like vacuum cleaners or men in hats. But hey, at least you'll know their quirks up front. Long-haired or short-haired? The Great Chihuahua Fashion. Debate. Short-haired Chihuahuas are sleek, low maintenance, and always ready for action, like tiny, over-caffeinated race cars. But be warned, they can still shed like they're auditioning for a role in a hair-based horror movie. Long-haired Chihuahuas, on the other hand, bring an undeniable level of elegance. They look like tiny show dogs ready for a red carpet event, but be prepared for regular brushing. If you slack off, they might transform into a walking tumbleweed of tangled fluff. Size, extra tiny, or just regular tiny. While all Chihuahuas are small, some are extra small, often called teacup Chihuahuas. These little guys are adorable, but they're also extra delicate. You'll need to be careful where you step, sit, and even sneeze, because one strong gust of wind might send them rolling down the hallway. Regular-sized Chihuahuas, if you can call 5 to 6 pounds regular, are still tiny, but tend to be a little sturdier. They might be less prone to unexpected airborne adventures, but will still act like they could take on a Doberman in a street fight. Whether you end up with a snuggly lapdog or a feisty little gremlin, one thing is certain: your life is about to get a whole lot more entertaining. Speaking of which, if you want a sneak peek into what life with a Chihuahua really looks like, don't miss our videos. Your Life as a Chihuahua, a hilarious and painfully accurate reality check. Or check everyday things that hurt your Chihuahua's feelings. Yep, believe it or not, taking the time to put on your shoes before giving them attention is totally unacceptable in their eyes. Click, watch, and prepare for the Chihuahua takeover, and don't forget to subscribe.